Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about the Joe out, Kamala in era, and I want to talk about the Russian-Ukrainian war, uh, and the excellent news that Kamala actually produced. So it is really fascinating. I this Joe out, Kamala era in is shocking. No one expected this. Absolutely, no one expected us to be here. I mean, no one. Like no one predicted this, right? Absolutely, no one predicted this. And if you have any proof, I make predictions on my channel, right? Like I literally have a playlist that says prediction. You can go check exactly what my predictions are, right? Like whether I was right or wrong, right? Like that's the way it is, right? Like but nobody suggested what we're seeing right now, right? So with that said, where do we land? What's actually happening? It's really quite fascinating. It is truly fascinating. I'm really fascinated by what we're seeing right now. It's incredible. It is genuinely incredible. So where are we right now? So first of all, Kamala has made the mess we're in right now, right? And there's a lot of bad, but suddenly there's good, and I have to credit that to Kamala and the thing she's been aiding. So who has Kamala been working with, right? So who actually led America from 2020 to 2024? Well, it certainly wasn't Joseph Biden, right? I don't believe Joe Biden was ever president, ever, right? I think the day he got in, everybody was like, this guy can't speak sentences. We all know that. We all knew that in 2024. I actually was talking about that openly in 2020, right? Like when you'll find, I got the receipts right here on my channel. I was saying, that guy is not capable of being president. He's going to be, he's blundering already, right? He's already struggling to communicate, right? So I believe for the last 4 years, Kamala has been working in tandem with one of three things. And I really don't know which it is. Either an alien, a demon, or an AI has been leading America for the last 4 years. And the reason why I believe that is I believe the shattering, the absolute brutal treatment of the American dream. No human being would have the cruelty to do that by themselves. I think it would only an inhuman thing, only an alien, a demon, or an AI would be this cruel to Americans. I think only an inhuman thing could be this cruel to Americans, right? But that alien, that demon, or that AI had an open door to Kamala, and all her ideas are in place right now, right? Like there's zero evidence that the alien, the demon, or the AI that led America from 2020 to 2024, that was our actual leader, certainly wasn't Joe Biden. Certainly was. I don't believe he ever signed. I don't believe he ever read a document he signed. Right? I don't think he ever did anything but sit in a rocking chair with a blanket and drink sweet tea. I really don't believe for 1 second Joe Biden led this country. Like it's an absurdity to me at this point. Like that anyone even believes that, right? Like it's like he's out now because he literally could not complete sentences, right? And it wasn't like, oh no, he can't complete. Everybody in 2020 was saying this is a terrible idea. This is going to end up a failed experiment. And that's where exactly I'm collecting my "I done told you" check. I told you this was going to happen, right? And I think it happened on day one of his presidency, and it was just hidden from us. It's certainly clear it was hidden for some portion. My contention is that it was hidden for all of his period of every day of his presidency, air quotes, from 2020 to 2024. Okay, all right, let's keep moving. All right, so Kamala gets some points. She did something great. What just happened that she's responsible for? The Ukrainian army just invaded Russia. What? Oh, snap. Right, okay. Now, what is this? This is the first instance of the Fabargle factor. You Fabargle around and you find out, right? Putin Fabargled around and now he's finding out. He's like, hey, Ukraine, you are an independent nation, completely sovereign. I am going to take your land. I do not respect your sovereignty. I'm going to attempt to shatter your sovereignty as an independent nation of the world. And guess what? You're just domino one. I'm going to take your land that I have absolutely no right to. You're a freestanding nation acknowledged by the entire world, right? Everybody's willing to say your name, right? Print it on a map. Let you go to the Olympics with your name intact. The whole world knows who you are, right? Like, I'm going to take it. I'm going to threaten your sovereignty, and I'm going to take your land. And now what's he finding out? Any nation, listen carefully, the new Farbargle factor, okay, brought forward by J. Scott Garibay. Listen carefully. You Farbargle around, you find out. You question another nation's sovereignty, your nation is then, your sovereignty is then forfeit. And anybody who wants can take it. That's the new rule, right? And that's what's happening. Ukraine's like, hey, everybody, glad to see you all. We will be marching to Moscow. We will take Vladimir Putin prisoner, and then we're going to take the and this is what I think. This is what I think is going to happen. They haven't announced any of this. This is a Scott Garibay prediction. President Zelensky lets his army go from Ukraine all the way to Moscow. They're going to take Putin prisoner, and President Zelensky will say Ukraine now extends from every inch of our original land all the way to the farthest western shore of Russia. And that land that used to be called Russia, that's all Ukraine now. Ukraine is super big. And guess what? We're going to split it off, and America gets half because they paid for it all. So I predict within 3 years, I'll be able to, within 3 years. Actually, I think it'll be within 2. I'll be able to buy a house in Irkutsk. Scott Garibay will be able to own a house in Irkutsk, right? Because it will no longer be Russian land. Every scrap of it will belong to President Zelensky, right? And rightfully to the Ukrainian people, and rightfully to every American when Ukrainians gift us half the land. Kamala's responsible for that. It's the first thing I've seen that I'm like, whoa, that's pretty dope. I would like to own a house in Irkutsk. I'd like to be able to buy a house for 50,000 US dollars in the middle of Irkutsk, have a vacation home. That'd be pretty nice. Yeah, right. Like, that's Kamala. So I have to say, this is the first time I've had to think, should I vote for Kamala? I would like to own a house in Irkutsk. That's pretty dope, right? So good work, Kamala, working with the alien, the demon, or the AI, who's been leading America since day one of President Biden's presidency, air quotes. And thank you for inspiring the Ukrainians to fully implement the Farbargle factor. You Farbargle around, you find out. You question another nation's sovereignty, you put a single boot on the ground, your sovereignty is now forfeit. Putin doesn't own an inch of land. It belongs to the world now because he sacrificed his own nation's sovereignty by Farbargling around, and now he's finding out. In my humble opinion, every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. Nothing more, nothing less. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.